Three centre-backs that Arsenal should be looking to sign this summer. Before the video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the content coming over the summer, and give this video a like if you enjoy it. I've also put a quiz question in the comment section below, so go down there and see if you can get the answer right. Keep watching to the end to hear my verdict on which of these centre-backs would be the best option for Arsenal to sign in this summer's transfer window. It seems like Arsenal have been needing to recruit a centre-back every summer for the last 10 years. Last summer they brought in Socrates, which was a strange signing considering he was 30 at the time, cost 17 million and had been past his best for the last two seasons at Dortmund. Koscielny looks like he's leaving. Arsenal fans hope that Mustafi is leaving as well, meaning that alongside Socrates they'd have the injury burdened Rob Holding, Callum Chambers who isn't good enough, and Mavropanos and Bilic who are still raw and could do with loan moves. Arsenal should be looking to sign a centre-back under the age of 27 who could develop further, who'd cost at most between 30 and 35 million, and could play in a back three as a wide centre-back, as Emery liked to alternate between a 4 and 3 at the back system throughout last season. To compensate for Arsenal's defensive frailties in the full-back positions, with Bellerin, Kolasinac and Maitland-Niles not being great positionally or in one-on-one situations, Arsenal should target a quick centre-back who can read the game well in order to see the danger in the channels and make an interception or a tackle. The first centre-back option that Arsenal should be pursuing is Ibrahim Konate. Konate is RB Leipzig's 20-year-old French centre-back who was a first-team regular last season. He's a 6'3", quick and physically dominating defender. He's very good in one-on-one situations, as seen as he was only dribbled past 0.4 times per game last season. This is largely due to his pace, which is a unique attribute amongst centre-backs, and his long legs, which allow him to make sliding challenges from awkward positions. Konate has a very good reading of the game, which enables him to be a front foot defender, step out of the back line to make an aggressive interception or break up the play. This is seen as Konate made 2.1 interceptions per game in the Bundesliga last season, which was the 7th most of any centre-back in the league. This would be a much needed attribute for Arsenal to have in the back line, as neither Socrates nor Rob Holding are front foot defenders. Konate's ability to do this would break up a lot of attacks before the opposition were able to get into the final third. Konate could also play as a right-sided centre-back in a back three because of his pace and one-on-one defending ability, which is a massive bonus for Emery. He'd cost around £35 million, which would be right at the top end of Arsenal's budget, though if they can sell both Mustafi and Callum Chambers for £15 million each and raise around £5 million from Koscielny, then they should be able to finance this deal, which would make sense both in the short and long term. The next potential centre-back option for Arsenal is Espanyol's 24-year-old Mario Hermoso. Hermoso has been linked with both Manchester City and Atletico Madrid, and it's easy to see why. He has a £35 million release clause, which in this market would be great value. Like Konate, Hermoso is a front foot defender, very good at reading the game, stepping out the back line to make interceptions. He doesn't have the same pace or physical dominance as Konate though. He was only dribbled past 0.6 times per game last season, which is decent for a centre-back at a side like Espanyol, though I think Konate is a better one-on-one defender, particularly in the channels. In terms of his aerial ability, Konate just about edges it, as he won 70% of his aerial duels compared to Hermoso's 64%. Hermoso is a better ball-playing centre-back though. He has the ability to stride out with the ball and play a long cross-field pass similar to the way Alderweireld does for Tottenham. Hermoso completed 56% of his long passes, while Konate completed just 40%. Hermoso was only dispossessed 0.2 times per game and had just 0.2 unsuccessful touches per game, compared to Konate, who was dispossessed 0.4 times per game and had 0.7 unsuccessful touches, which shows that in terms of being a ball-playing centre-back, Hermoso is by far the superior. The final player I've chosen as a potential centre-back option for Arsenal is another French RB Leipzig centre-back Nordi Mukiele. The 21-year-old was signed from Montpellier last summer for £14 million, though he isn't a starter but has shown his ability throughout the season. He only made 14 appearances, so we'll look at his 2017-18 season for Montpellier as well. Mukiele has similar attributes to Konate. He isn't as tall or physically dominating, but he is a front foot defender who steps out of the backline to make an interception or tackle. He's pretty good when facing one-on-one duels in the channels due to his acceleration, composure and standing tackling ability. In the 2017-18 season, he was dribbled past 0.6 times per game, but last year for Leipzig, it was just 0.2 times per game, less than Konate. His front foot defending can be seen as he makes a lot of tackles, as seen with the 2 tackles per game that he made last season. He isn't as good as Konate is at driving out the back line into the midfield with the ball, but he is a more measured passer and can play through balls when he moves forward into the midfield. I think he could be as good as Konate if not better due to his tackling technique, calmness both in defensive and on the ball situations, where Konate can sometimes be very rash. Mukiele would cost around £30 million, which is a little cheaper than Konate, as he isn't RB Leipzig's starting centre-back. He'd be able to play in a back three or at right back, which could be a crucial factor considering Arsenal's lack of squad depth and injury issues throughout the season. So who should Arsenal sign at centre back this summer? My first choice would be Ibrahim Konate, as he's the best out of the three when it comes to physical dominance and one-on-one tackling ability, which is needed with Arsenal's defence often left exposed, and the centre-backs can often find themselves being left in one-on-one defensive situations in the channel. Whilst Konate is younger than Mukiele, I think he's better at reading the game, particularly when anticipating through balls and cutbacks around the box, which is another vital attribute for a centre-back. Whilst Hermoso is the best ball-playing centre-back out of the three, I think Konate's pace and one-on-one defending ability is a much more important asset, which is why I would look to sign him over the Spaniard. So if I was Arsenal, I'd be looking to sign Ibrahim Konate from RB Leipzig this summer.